Hey, what's going on, guys? Brandon here with Texas Plinking, making another video, and to be honest, can't imagine this one being too long, but could be wrong. But this should be a fun one. It is a product highlight. We're going to be talking about a suppressor specifically. It's a little different for the channel. It is like a gear review, but just an excuse to bring out two really cool long-range rifles. One new to the channel, one's only been showcased once prior. Now, starting off with the main subject matter of this video is the suppressor. This is a Dead Air Nomax 33. This new offering from Dead Air is rated for 33 cal bore sizes, so 33 Lapua, even 8.6 blackout, and obviously you could bore down and shoot some other stuff like I'm gonna do today. It's good for semi-autos and bolt actions, and as long as the barrel length is over 18 inches for a 33 Lapua, you're good. That's its restriction. So pretty beefy suppressor here. 3D printed, grade 5 titanium, and so given the size, I know it's not small, 9.6 inches with the adapter and 9.1 inches long, just the suppressor body itself, and a diameter of 1.75 inches. Again, not small, but 15.4 ounces in weight with the adapter and just 12.9 ounces just the body. Out of the box, it comes with the Z-Max mounting system, which is this muzzle device, reverse threaded, and then dual taper. You see one taper here, one taper here. So once this thing is locked on there, this thing's not going anywhere. So you can just get as many of these muzzle devices for different thread pitches and then just use it that way. Or of course, because it's a hub adapter from the back, you get a direct thread as well. So that's what I've got going on right here, just to mount between different guns really quickly for the purpose of this video. But otherwise, if you're marrying the can to a specific setup, can't go wrong with this big old muzzle brake for the long range applications, and just dual taper lockup system should repeat very, very well. The suppressor comes in black, FTE, or silver. Mine's in black here. It's got a lifetime warranty as well. I've never had a Dead Air prior to this, and now I have two. It's this and the Mojave 9, and already that Mojave 9 turned into my favorite 9mm suppressor, so I have a little bit more time with that. This is the first day out with the Nomax 33, and off camera I sighted in the two rifles we're going to be using today. Very impressive can, not only for the weight and all that kind of stuff, but the sound while you buy a suppressor. The report is cut down a lot. More impressively with the bolt action 308, just because it's bolt action, semi-autos will still have this port opening up here and some gas coming out of the port. Even that being said, you'll hear it, hopefully will give justice on camera. Very impressive out of this setup. But yeah, we just wait till bolt action. That's probably my favorite form. To get technical with it, Dead Air calls it the two-stage coaxial baffle technology. They say this technology regulates the high pressures in a way that help reduce recoil and minimize POI shift. There's different end caps you guys can choose between as well, just depending on your priorities between recoil mitigation or flash suppression as well. So different options there. So that's the quick run through and the crash course on the new Nomax 33. Very impressive suppressor, and it's mine. It's not here on loan or nothing like that, so you guys will see it on other stuff later on. Now today we do have it on a semi-auto 6.5 Creedmoor. To be honest, quite an interesting one. We're going to talk about this rifle as well. This is from CMMG and it's the BR3. And well, the way I see this rifle is it is awesome for many states out there, just to be state compliant, because this is part of the Descent series. So it's not a traditional AR-15 in that it has a buffer tube and all that kind of stuff. Some states out there don't allow semi-auto guns to have pistol grips, make them too scary, right? So anyway, because this doesn't have a traditional buffer system, because it's a Descent series and it's a very, very cool operating system, they could get away without having a traditional pistol grip. This has more of a hunter stock because there's no buffer tube now. And so this, among other things going on here, this is compliant to, I believe, 48 states of the Great 50 in the US. So I figured I'd showcase this in case someone's watching it. I'd still represent on the Texas Plinking channel. But yeah, CMMG did send that to showcase. And so full disclosure here, so far, I don't know if it's something I would do in a free state like Texas, but maybe it'll grow on me. The only reason I say that is because so far off camera, when I zeroed it in, it actually impressed me. It was actually a way smoother shooting experience with that suppressor especially as well. And for some reason, it really didn't need me to change the gas system all that much, and it is adjustable, but it's running really, really good. Locking back on the last round, feeding just fine, not doing anything weird to the 6.5 rounds. Reliability so far has been great. Recoil impulse is great. The one thing is this is comfortable, don't get me wrong, but I can't get the cheek well high enough. This is with the highest one it came with to be comfortable on the scope, because if I just relaxed, my eye is right here. So I'm kind of stressing my neck, just kind of levitating my face just to get high enough on top of this. So that's where a traditional AR-10 stock will work for me. Other than that, if that's the only compromise on having a rifle that is otherwise a very sweet rifle in a more restrictive state, this is pretty cool so far. We're gonna be using some Hornady Precision Hunter 6.5 Creedmoor. This is 143 grain ELDX, more of a hunting series. So why not showcase out of this? This might be someone's semi-auto hunting platform in a more restrictive state. Or you live in a free state and you just like the look of it and all that stuff and the operating system. Again, this is the only compromise I have. Otherwise, kind of interesting push button safety, like more like a shotgun Very interesting setup, but the recoil impulse, the operating system, feels very, very smooth. So that's good. And for glass, it is going to be the Arken EP5. This is a 7-35 by 56. Actually, the same Arken you guys saw in a video I did not long ago. That was on the Alamo Precision Rifle Ranger in 6.5 Creedmoor. So just trying to showcase the optic on different platforms just because I have it. So far, very, very impressed with the scope. One of the best, if not the best, under $1,000. 7-35 is quite excessive, and that's kind of what I talked about in the video, is if you need that zoom range. In most cases you probably don't, but we're definitely going to use some here and see how it goes. If you guys are interested, coupon code TexasPlinking at checkout saves you 25% and helps out the channel a little bit with the kickback, for full disclosure. But definitely like the optics, so we're going to use it today. Let's talk about the other rifle. Honestly, kind of absurdly expensive, but oh well, already paid for it, so might as well just shoot it. Chambered in 308, kind of made to resemble the M40 because they call it M40-ish. Getting some impressions with the scope though, first day out with it. This is the Lapua Mark IV HD. It's a 8-32 by 56. Optics Planet was cool enough to supply the optic for today's video on the M40-ish, so very, very thankful for them. If you guys want to save any money on something purchased on Optics Planet, where the optics or ammo, coupon code TexasPlinking. Not gonna lie, it used to be 5% off. I think on some orders is up to 7% off now, depending, so check it out. Ammo on that one's gonna be some Hornady Precision Hunter as well, but it's 178 grain ELD-X for the 308. All right, so that's that. I say we start with the 6.5 Creedmoor because the can's already on there, and we're just gonna skip straight to 1,000 yards just because we have it out here. All right, so first time shooting this rifle at range, just went from 100 yards sight in, and to be honest, I'm too lazy to look at a ballistic calculator, so we're just gonna go ahead and wing it. I think I know how 6.5 usually drops, and so totally guess on elevation and wind. I say just to get some satisfying hits, we'll go for the big square bottom right. I rarely hit that one. Just above it. Different sound when it hits that one. Yeah, pretty mute. Hopefully you guys can hear the hits on that one. Not as acoustic. I say just for fun, let's go for a 10-inch target. Let's go for that white one on the right. I'll tell you right now, I know this isn't a critical review on the rifle, but I get why they put the stock on it for the restrictive states, but I am not a fan holding my head this high, for one, but then this thing just keeps on pinching me a little bit. Just a weird shape to the stock in general. Might work for a shotgun, but on an AR-10, man, it's just not for me. Can't say I didn't try to get it in there, just started shooting a little quicker at the end there. I will say, recoil impulse on this, the Descent in 6.5 feels awesome. I would just want an unapologetic version for a free state. Give me just, you know, a pistol grip and just a traditional stock. I get why they had to do it. It's a really cool recoil impulse. I like that it's adjustable gas system. It looks good, but yeah, I don't know if this is right up my alley, to be totally honest with you. All right, moving on to the Bergara M40-ish. Suppressed bolt actions are really some of my favorite to shoot because you mitigate a lot of sound already between the action. It's just a supersonic bullet and muzzle pop, so the suppressor should hush things up quite a bit. Well, we were close to ending on a hit, but anyway, not really trying to showcase too much on these rifles just because I've showcased this one before. I have to showcase it a little bit more in the future as well, but really want to talk about the suppressor. So all that shooting, I would say with the semi-auto, still no hearing protection, and that's on me. You know, you guys do that at your own discretion, but pretty good sounding with the 6.5 Creedmoor. On a bolt action 308, this thing's pretty darn quiet, I have to say. So very excited to kind of step it up to some larger bores, try some 8.6 blackout whenever I get something chambered in that. And of course, 338 Lapua, even 3 into Win Mag, all that fun stuff. Tried out of that. But just thought I'd break the ice, kind of showcasing the suppressor, going through some of the specs and all that kind of stuff on these two rifles. One of them being that new CMMG, which is very interesting. And then this is just a very aesthetic looking gun, so might as well show the M40-ish as well. But mostly on that suppressor, impressed so far, no reason not to be. That's it for the Nomax 33, but tell you what, just because we're here, let's go ahead and bust out the Mojave 9. So this is it in the shorter configuration, ready for a 1/2x28 with the booster, so good for a pistol. And here's the rest of the stack. We'll use it in just a little bit here, but try to take a look in here. It's like this spongy looking material that's really absorbent, that 3D printing. Well, I'll just say it seems to work quite well. We're just gonna go ahead and demonstrate it with some 124 grain supersonic ammo from Staccato. First time running it out of this pistol, but I'm sure it's gonna be just fine. Shoot a little bit of cactus here. First off, just the recoil impulse of this feels awesome. It's a Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro. Beretta 80X Cheetah with the shorter configuration still. This one's a 380 ACP. Tames the recoil of that even quite a bit too. I know it's only 380, but it's actually kind of snappy without a suppressor. All right, now Stealth Arms Platypus with the full length Mojave 9. Same thing, but subsonic. That doesn't even feel real. That's just the coolest. Well guys, kind of different, maybe a short video more than anything, but kind of wanted to highlight these two cans that I just got recently. You know, I got a good collection of suppressors now, so maybe one day we'll bring them all out and kind of talk about some of the pros and cons, but I've certainly heard of Dead Air, very reputable, very highly recommended, and it took this long for me to get two. So Mojave 9, Nomax 33, very different purposes between these two, but really liking the ecosystem of Dead Air quite a bit. So there's a quick look at two of them, and so that does it. Thanks for watching. See you guys next time.